Hey folks, what's up? This is Evan from Stock Music Musician, and in this video I want to show you my 5 favorite effects in Reason. These are 5 killer effects that either cost a lot of money to buy standalone and other DAWs, or are just things that don't exist anywhere. And if you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your money with Reason, you gotta be using these 5 effects. I'm gonna give you a quick overview of how to use each of them, show you some of their cool features. If you are new to Reason, or even if you're just old to Reason but feeling overwhelmed, I do have a free cheat sheet that'll teach you all of the devices in Reason and help you get up to speed really quickly. So without further ado, let's listen to this unprocessed. I've got Reason as an effect turned off right now, and then we'll turn it on and start experimenting. So what I'm going to be using this effect rack on is just that simple string line. We'll leave the drums unprocessed, just kind of there for some context. So the first Reason effect not to sleep on is the echo. This is an awesome tape delay simulator. It does all the things you would want with a really high quality, and it glitches out when you adjust the properties, which works really well with all the CV voltage controls in Reason, allowing you to just create really cool, organic, fun sounds. So let's turn this on now, and let's listen to some of these effects. We'll just kind of muddle with it. So you can hear this is a really cool, fun delay. It sounds great. It's got all the features you would need, from separate offsets for the left and the right, the ability to keep the pitch or to have it do the pitch dependent on the speed, built-in ping pong sync, separate feedback for the main channel if you want to offset the right, the ability to make a more diffuse sound, filtering, all of which again can be modulated with CV. You've got this built-in drive section with 4 different types of modeled distortion or saturation. You've got the ability to modulate an LFO, a lovely wet dry knob, and the built-in ducking, which you just really don't see in a lot of other effects, especially a lot of other delay effects. And it's such a huge and helpful tool, especially if you're using this on vocals or something to just help you get a clean sound. I also have 3 modes here where you can do it just normal mode. You can trigger it for cool glitches, or roll it out like a reggae dub master. So that's the echo. It's super awesome. Don't sleep on it. The next one not to sleep on is Audiomatic, which is nowadays there's more and more plugins that are kind of like this, but this is the fastest and easiest way to quickly transform your sound if you're not quite happy with it. Essentially, it's just got a bunch of built-in signifiers or something like that, which can really radically transform your sounds. So let's start out with this radio preset. Or a VHS preset. Hear the crackle? Gadget. That sounds awesome, huh? Throwing some delay. or maybe even wash. And for giggles, I'm going to hold down Shift and actually drag the Audiomatic to be above the delay for even more fun. So that's Audiomatic. Just mess around with it, put it on everything. It really can help you just add a little bit of sauce to all of your tracks. Next up, we have Scream 4, which is one of the all-time classic essential Reason tools. It is basically a distortion box. The only downside to this incredible tool is that there's no wet-dry knob on it, which isn't that fun because it's really, really powerful. So you got to kind of work around it. We're going to have it just fully on for this demonstration, but I would usually recommend using it as a send effect or as a parallel channel so you can preserve your underlying sound. So we've got, I don't know, a bunch of different sounds here, maybe 12 modes, and then you've got 2 parameters per mode and just an overall damage amount. I've done an in-depth tutorial on this, so just search for that. But let's just listen to these modes. Sorry if that got a little loud there. There's a lot of other modes. It's all totally worth playing with, especially if you are mapping this to buttons, knobs, LFOs. You can see how you can quickly turn this into a really cool glitching sound. There's also a built-in amp simulator. It doesn't really simulate an amp well, but it makes really cool sounds. We'll just go to Digiconstructor and you can hear this one preset. Again, let's and here we'd probably rather have the delay at the end behind it again. So let's So that's Scream. Next up, we have the BV512 Vocador. I do not think it's a good Vocador. I want to be very clear. Haven't had good results with it as a Vocador. But as a filter, it is really, really good. So let's take a quick listen. Basically, you can imagine this as between a 4-band and a 512-band filter, where basically you've got an EQ curve. So let's listen with just this on. I gotta make sure I got, okay. Yep, let's listen to this on. So basically we're just filtering right now, or EQing, in a very extreme way. And you've got increasing amounts of precision that you could do. All of which sound pretty cool. And you can see already, you can adjust the individual bands here to get whatever type of curve you want. And that's all well and fun. But where it really starts to get fun is when you start shifting, which basically takes the curve and shifts it upwards and downwards over the frequencies, creating sort of a filtering effect or a phasing effect. Let's listen. That sounds pretty good, right? Well, I promised you earlier, I've been teasing the idea of using LFOs. So here I'm going to use the pulsar LFO, and I'm going to do the CV out from the pulsar into the shift CV section of the BV512. So now this shift knob here, which is where the filter is in relation to the underlying sound, is going to be controlled by this here LFO. So let's listen. If we want it to be faster, or even faster. But let's say we change the... And I know I keep saying it, but what if we put the delay behind it? Well, what does that sound like? You can see how quickly you get in a different vibe here. And let's just try, something really far out. And just for giggles, we will route this to the filter delay time, which is going to give us some really glitchy stuff, because we can. Pretty fun. But last and certainly not least, we have the Alligator, which kind of does a little bit of all of that, and then some more. So the Alligator is basically a 3-band everythinginator. Patterns. It turns on these gates for each of the 3 bands, plays them in a pattern, triggers them in a pattern, and it applies frequency modulation, phasing, drive or distortion, delay, panning. It just does a lot of everything, all in a pattern. And then I've done an advanced tutorial on how to create your own patterns, but let's just listen to what it sounds like now with just the Alligator on. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't sit on these effects, and don't forget to download that free Reason Effect cheat sheet. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out this next video.